And it looks like right here we've got a bunch of mangoes. And I
Yeah.
think I heard Shamus saying earlier almost 25 to 27 varieties of mango.
Yeah, we've got a huge variety of mangoes. I don't know anywhere else on the West Coast that has this variety of mangoes in one place. And
What was
they're all
your-
able to be seen right here, and you can see which tree you're buying, so that's one of the bonuses too.
Give me two or three picks. What are your favorite 2 or 3 varieties of mango?
We've got a variety that's just come out that's called Coconut Cream.
Mhm.
That's really highly rated.
Okay.
People really like that one. I've got a variety in my backyard that is actually in a western exposure. So if you can't avoid a western exposure, a Kiet is the variety that I'd plant here in
Okay.
Arizona. It actually grows out in the deserts in California, and that's actually a commercial production out in California off that Kiet.
How do you spell that?
Keitt.
Okay.
And it's pronounced a couple of different ways. Some people pronounce it Kiet. We've got a beautiful mango that's back over there that's called Sunrise. And it's a very picturesque mango. It's got a nice yellow, pink, green skin. And since we're still kind of in the early stages with mangoes here in Phoenix, we're looking for different characteristics on these trees. That Sunrise survived this last winter with no protection, had 0 damage, doesn't have any salt burn on it. So it's a real nice mango, very, very pretty, good landscape specimen type tree. And we'll see in the next couple of years how it does, but I've got high hopes for that one.
And you guys got the like the 5-gallon pots, or at least 3 gallon.
These are 3 gallons, yeah.
all the way up to like maybe a 25-gallon.
Yeah, we've got 3s, 7s, 25s, and maybe even a couple of 15s scattered around. You had asked about a couple of the different varieties. One of the things that I will mention is mango is another one of those fruits that if you grew up with a type of mango, so if you're from India and you grew up with an Indian type of mango, the Indian mangoes do differ a little bit than the Far Eastern mangoes. So if you're from India, you're looking for a juicy, sweet mango, we've got the Alfonsos, we've got the Malikas, we've got the Jahangirs, we've got a couple of Kesars, we've got a couple of varieties of Indian mango. If you're from points further east than India, if you're from Vietnam or Cambodia and you're looking for a green mango that's real crisp to make pickles or chutney from,
Okay.
we've got Maha Chinook, we've got Nam Doc Mai, we've got a couple of those varieties. If you're from Florida and you want a traditional Florida mango, we've got Kent's, we've got Hayden's, we've got all sorts of different varieties. Really depends on what your taste buds prefer, but we've got something for just about everybody's taste preference in mango.
And it looks like these are all grafted, so they're going to fruit a little quicker.
Yeah,
And they all look super healthy.
Yeah, we don't do any seedling mangoes here. Some places will sell seedling mangoes. The danger with that is that you don't know what you're going to get. It could turn out to be anything. It could be a great mango, and sometimes it's worth taking a chance if you've got a lot of land and just want to experiment. But if you're looking for a couple of trees and you want guaranteed production quickly, with a lot of production of a type that we know tastes good, Grafted is unquestionably the way to go.
Any special growing characteristics that are unique to a mango that we should worry about? You said maybe in the first year, give it some shade until it's established.
Yeah. Almost every plant here is going to need some shade that first summer on a western exposure. If it's got a completely eastern exposure, you're good to go. But if you get that hot after 2 p.m. western sun beating down on a young tree, it's just going to beat it up.
Once established, would these be maybe as prolific as like a citrus?
In terms of actual production, it's possible. It's possible. If you take good care of your tree and you've got decent soil, there's no reason that it couldn't be. Some of the growing characteristics you asked about mangoes tend to be a little bit salt sensitive, and we have salty water here.
Okay.
So a couple of times a year I'll leach through that soil real heavily. I'll essentially do a flood watering.
How do you do that? Like a slow, deep water? Or?
You can do a slow, deep water on a periodic basis, but what I do is I've got most of my plants planted in basins.
Okay.
Essentially sunk just a little bit lower than the grade.
Sure.
And I'll fill that. I'll run the hose in there until it fills up, and then I'll back off the water a little bit just so that it maintains that height.
Okay.
And I'll let it sit there for about 2 hours, and then I'll turn the water off, and all that water will drain through and suck all those salts out of the soil.
That's a good suggestion.
Yeah, it really helps a lot.
How often do you do that?
Probably 3 times a year. I might add a little bit of gypsum if I've got an area that's got an especially heavy salt buildup.
Okay.
But with mangoes, the thing you need to keep in mind is that they are salt sensitive, so you can over-fertilize a mango fairly easily. The only thing that I recommend for mangoes for that first year when you plant it is to plant it with just a little bit of the mycorrhiza that we've got available here, which establishes that good root mass, and then fish emulsion. Fish emulsion is a real gentle, natural fertilizer that tends to not build up, doesn't have a lot of salts, and actually mangoes thrive on that fish emulsion. So if I'm planting a mango, I add a little bit of mycorrhiza to my amended soil, and then I might fertilize once or twice a month through the growing season with fish emulsion.
Nice.